I will call the Everman City Council regular meeting to order. It is Tuesday, January 28, 2025. The time is 6 o'clock. If everybody please rise for a moment of silence, followed by a pledge of allegiance. Amen. First item on the agenda is consent agenda. Item A is minutes from September 10th, 2024, Everman Council regular meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Poll the council.
Place 1,
Aye.
place 2,
Aye.
place 3, place 4,
Aye.
place 5.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Next item is financials, November 2024. I'll entertain a motion.
I make the motion to accept the financials for November 2024.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Okay, hold on, matter, if it's on a consent agenda item, we cannot deliberate on it, so we'll have to move it down to discussion legally before we can discuss it. So if you've got a motion and a second already on the floor, I think you have to either take that motion and vote on that motion, or you can vote it down if you'd like, and then you'd have to move it underneath discussion to discuss anything on it. But we can't legally, if it's listed on consent agenda, we can't discuss it.
Okay.
That's the purpose of the consent agenda, is to move it quickly.
Okay. So we consent or not consent? All right. It is.
Okay.
Place 1, place 2, place 3, place 4,
Aye.
place 5.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Presentations, we have none. Citizens' comments? Nothing. Discussion items. Item A, staff report, police department.
You agree?
Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'll be going over the stats for month of January so far. Officers handled 1,603 calls for service, which included 20 complaint calls, 6 shot fire calls, 4 stolen vehicles, 9 missing persons, 5 6 thefts, 1 suicide, 6 parking violations, 1 person with a gun, 4 protected drivers, 4 warrant searches,
Questions?
Thank you.
Mayor, council, I give everybody received a handout, correct? All right. What is that? Reading with friends. There we go. All right, so emergency incidents for the fire department. As you know, I like to do them continuously. So from December 10th through January 27th, the total calls were 212. Average response time for the calls, including our county jurisdictions, was 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Dispatch in and out, called the shoot times, is a minute 9. Our goal per NFPA standard is for an EMS call for a fire base or MVA call. That is the minute 9 is a combination of both those call times. Response given, meaning we responded to either Rendon or Forest Hill or Kennedale, or mutual aid partner, was 23. Mutual aid response received, where they came to us to assist, was 12. Total of in-city overlapping incidents were 17. That is where there's a one or more than one emergency incident happening within the city of, within our city jurisdiction. So we've got 2 calls at once.
At the same time, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Incidents by response time. Had a total of fire incidents involving a building or a structure over 10. None of those being within the city limits. They were all either mutual aid response or county jurisdiction. Other fire tops included grass or vehicles, was a total of 3. Medical emergencies, as usual, was the most common type of 143. MVAs, motor vehicle accidents, 6. Hazardous conditions, 13, and other were 37. Update on staffing, we were able to hire 2 full-time firefighter paramedics. We brought on Christopher Fox in December and Ryan Phillips in January. Mr. Fox comes to us from, he's got worked for a number of different departments, and he actually is a TCOL certified peace officer as well. Most recently was with Alton CD Police Department. Before that, he had a career as a firefighter paramedic with both Dallas and actually with FDNY. His passion is being a firefighter paramedic. He thought he wanted to try his hand at being a peace officer. He didn't really like that as his main gig, so he wanted to come back to be a firefighter paramedic. So he's joined us with about 6 years of experience. And Ryan Phillips had about 4 years of experience as a firefighter paramedic with most recently with the North Richland Hills Fire Department. We did hire 1 full-time firefighter EMT, Stephen Black. He spent just under 20 years in Rendon, so him and I have had a long working relationship. So he comes with open arms. And then we did hire 1 part-time firefighter paramedic, Ismael Granados. He is full-time with Eagle Mountain Fire Department, and he already came certified as a paramedic and credentialed within Best EMS, so he comes in streamlined to assist us on the ambulance, because we are still short staff when it comes to firefighter paramedics. So we're working through getting the full-timers through their FTO, their field training officer, and getting credentialed with our doctor to be a primary paramedic within our system. We have had 1 that has met with the doc 1 time, and it was his first experience with our doctor, so it didn't go as well as we had hoped, but now he knows exactly what to expect for his next. They're allowed a total of 3 interviews with the doc before they had actually failed. Before the end of the week, I'll be announcing promotional exams for a lieutenant promotional process. First step would be an intent to test, so I'll post the promotional opportunity with the qualifications. And those who are qualified, who wish to test, they have to submit an application for intent to test. And then following a 15-day application process or period, then we'll commence with a promotional exam. It's going to be 2-part, so we can go ahead and officially get lieutenants posted again. And as I said, we've got 1 position still open. I do have 1 applicant in background currently. Seems like a good guy. He comes highly recommended. But our application is still open on Texas Commission on Fire Protection website, TNL, and on our city website.
Next item, item C, Public Works.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor.
Let me give a disclaimer real quick to protect Rudy here. So Gilbert is actually in Austin right now at a conference. So, Gilbert couldn't be there. So Rudy was voluntold to be here in his place. And he's going to do his best. If you're not familiar, Rudy is our street superintendent. So he oversees one side of Public Works. So if you have questions on this report as it relates to water, he may not be the most informed to answer it, but we'll try to get through this as best as we can. Sorry, Rudy. Go ahead.
Does this mic have a green one?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
He's
Okay,
on.
thank you.
Thank you. These are going to be the Public Works highlights. Basically, it's for us, Water Department, Parks and Streets Department. Basically, what we did all this month, we prepared for the winter storm. We arranged the schedule to have employees on standby, just in case of an emergency or water main break, basically. We winterized all the city facilities. We spread material to prevent accumulated ice at PD, Fire Department, and PD lot. As far as Water Department goes, basically, they were able to accomplish 12 water main breaks, 160 plus work orders, 4 sewer backups, 7 curb stop changes, 1 meter change, and NTGCD water use survey, which is the commutation of gallons pumped in the last 6 months. For Parks and Streets,
That survey, just real quick, that survey is the North Texas Groundwater Conservation District. So we're required to submit those reports on a regular basis.
for Parks and Streets, continuing, we basically started the animal shelter project, improving our kennels for the animals. We have done the facilities and parks maintenance, all the event setups. We repair potholes. We have installed signs and replaced flags and done the inspections on all of our equipment to make sure they're running correctly. And that's pretty much it for Public Works.
Thank you.
Rudy, do we have any active water main breaks that still needs our attention that we haven't gotten to yet?
To be honest,
Maybe not breaks, but maybe leaks,
We,
good leaks.
Yes, we do know of at least one that is parallel to Forest Hill Drive. It is a high elevated, it's an elevated water line. So where the leak is occurring is actually in where the connections are between the pipes. Water Department went out and assessed. They believe that maybe one of the bell housings has been cracked. Because these water lines are elevated and over a creek, we don't have the equipment to get down in there and make that repair ourselves. And we don't have the ability to replace the whole pipe. And it looks like there's a section of pipe that's going to require full replacement. Therefore, Gilbert had a contractor come out, has assessed that, and he's working with that contractor now to put together a proposal to try to get that. Because it's an emergency basis, if it's under $50,000 in accordance with our policy, I'll go ahead and approve that, and we'll get that repair going as quickly as we possibly can to resolve that issue. If for any reason it is over $50,000, that will require council approval, so we'll have to go through the steps to bring that back before you to get your approval. But that's the only other one that I'm aware of. I will tell you the temperatures, Gilbert, he shared that the temperatures have been causing a lot of havoc for us, which is not uncommon. When we experience prolonged periods of freezing temperatures, or when we experience what we had with this Arctic blast, where overnight we dip into the 20s, and then in the daytime we're coming into the 40s and 50s, the ground is quickly expanding and contracting, and it causes ground movement amongst the water lines. We have several areas that have dilapidated water lines, including an area on Wisteria Drive and the Flowers Edition, near Trammell. Those are the areas that we're primarily seeing these water main breaks, and it's due to the ground expansion and contraction. So Gilbert's already working with the city engineer's office to try to identify those areas for potential CDBG projects coming up. We are going to be having some CDBG eligible work coming up. So we'll try to get those outdated, dilapidated lines in the cycle.
600 block of Hans Mark. Are you aware of that one?
No, sir.
Okay. There's water running all the way down Royce Brooks. It's been like that for about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
We'll look into it, Mayor.
Because they're saying it's meeting levels, but I don't know if anybody else that has to drink water that has chlorine in it. And so my question is, will they be, looking at that to repair that?
Well, that's a water department. I can get into it, and we'll figure it out, and we'll let you know.
Okay, my second question is, by us being so small, less than, 3 miles, 4 miles, is it possible for, I guess, the road crew, to possibly go down, all streets at least once a month to see what roads need repairing? Because, I had one resident, approach me and said that they had potholes for a while. And my question is, do y'all rely on the residents calling, or do y'all just drive down the road yourself to see what needs to be repaired?
Well, usually there's a lot of potholes on the city that we're trying to take care of, and we do drive around and we do document which is the location of that pothole. But sometimes we get more calls about potholes, and we make those a priority to keep the residents happy.
We do try to encourage residents to submit those report of problems, because if they submit a report of problem or they call it in specifically for a work order, it absolutely goes on a list. And that list gets sent to Rudy, and it is addressed in order in which that those come in. So he works those up. They typically compile a list. It's not financially, it is more advantageous to compile a list of potholes and go out at one time or over a couple of days to try to complete these projects in bulk. The more bulk asphalt we buy to go out, the better. If we are just buying small amounts every time we get a single pothole complaint, it's going to absorb higher amounts of dollars out of our funds. So we try to consolidate those. They put together a schedule. I will tell you, this past couple of months have been real hard for them to go out and do pothole repairs because of either moisture in the ground or the freezing temperatures. It's not good practice for us to go out there and put road base and asphalt down if we've got a high level of moisture or freezing temperatures there that's causing the. One of the big reasons why we try to do crack filling is because when the road cracks, ice or water gets down in there, if it freezes, it expands, and therefore it actually separates that road, and that's what we want to try to avoid when we're doing pothole repairs too.
I report report a problem on the website. I use my computer or my cell phone. And I get an email back that says, you reported this, and it tells me what I typed in there. And I go back and look, and a couple of times it's taken a couple of weeks, but every time I report something, it has been repaired. And it's not just potholes, it's water, I mean, it's everything. The stop signs that you can't see or have disappeared, street signs are not there. And so Johnny encourage everybody to use their phone or their computer to report the problem. It's a very simple process.
Okay, is that something that they put in the water bill, the newsletter?
Don't know.
Okay.
Oh, he's saying yes, we have.
Yes, we've put it in all those features.
Yes.
It's on our city phone application. If you download the phone app, it's on the homepage, right smack in the middle of the homepage on the website as well.
Yeah, big button that says
And
report
we've got the phone app QR codes in the lobby advertising, trying to encourage residents to download that, because it makes life so much easier where they can even take a picture of the pothole, submit the complaint.
I don't know how to express this, but elderly, a lot of them don't want to use the computer or the app.
Sure.
Or anything like that.
Sure, and
Then
we'll,
they
and
can
we'll
tell a
still.
neighbor to do it.
Well, and we still take those by phone too. They can absolutely still call into City Hall at the main number, and they'll talk to either the City Hall receptionist or the UB department and request a work order. And what they do is they actually go in and complete the report or problem on their behalf, which automatically gets routed, depending on what the problem is. If it's a street problem, then it automatically gets routed directly to the street folks. But I don't want to, I want to be careful. I think we're probably swaying a little bit far away from the staff report.
Sorry,
Okay,
that's
so
my fault.
last thing, the chlorine, after the last meeting, there was an email sent to you.
And that's what I've been commenting on.
Okay, well, you were asking a question about it, and the letter addressed that, so
Okay, but, do you want to drink chlorine water? I mean,
all the water has chlorine in it, right?
not like this. This is ridiculous.
No.
Just because they just did that Columbine waterway.
Ma'am, the Columbine water well is not in service. It is, that, it's,
Coming from somewhere.
it's,
Definitely coming somewhere. Because even when the water was coming out of, they were releasing it, there was chlorine on the street. So it's coming from somewhere from the water over there.
Okay, let's move on. Next item, item D, staff report, code compliance.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just returned from a 2-week vacation, so I don't have much to report, but I have 19 new cases in the last 2 days, mostly for junk vehicles, and illegal parking for commercial motor vehicles, and I'm also trying to tackle the grass growing in the gutter line in the subdivisions.
We can't hear you.
Sorry. Just a lot of different cases for various things, commercial vehicles, junk vehicles, and grass growing in the gutter line.
And what?
Grass growing in the gutter lines,
Okay.
and that's all I've got. It depends if it's owned by the person who lives there. It's usually about 10 days. But if it's owned by an out-of-town landlord, it could be up to 30 days. If the property owner doesn't tow the vehicle or have the vehicle taken to a storage, they can be issued a citation.
How much time do you give them if there's a car parked on the street that's got a cover on it, that's been there like 4 months, how much time do they get to move it?
I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem, I got to interrupt.
Are we doing
So
that again?
we're swaying away.
Sorry.
You can, when we do staff reports, you can ask clarifications about the data or information being shared, but we can't sway off of the topic or information
Okay,
that's being shared.
well,
Does
he
that make
said
sense?
cars.
Sure, and if you want to ask questions about the cars, yes, but I think we're going into what, I think we're swaying a little far off of that. So
Okay.
we just got to stay on topic.
I'll
Otherwise,
ask
we'll,
him after the meeting.
yes,
Don't
ma'am.
leave.
That's a great idea.
Okay. Next item, item A, consideration of possible action. Item A, ordinance number 826, an ordinance of the City of Everman, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances by repealing and replacing in its entirety Chapter 3 titled Animals and Animal Control Regulations, providing a repealing clause, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, and providing for an effective date.
Mayor, before you entertain a motion on this, staff recommendation on this item as well as item 8B is going to be to table for the next meeting. However, if you would like to discuss anything here, we can certainly discuss it. That's why it was left on the agenda. The reason why we're recommending we table it till the next meeting is because the Forest Hill City Council is equally considering these ordinances as drafted and as they are presented to you. And they are looking to meet next week to discuss this for the first time. Therefore, if they, for whatever reason, have any amendments or changes to this, rather than our council approve this, they request or make a change to it, and then we have to bring it back before you with another ordinance amending the previous ordinance. It's just easier to table this all across the board until we're able to get Forest Hill to agree to everything that's included in here. So if they're still on the agenda. If there's any discussion, we're happy to answer anything. I think it would be great if there's anything you would like to change. We should discuss those changes now before the Forest Hill City Council meeting. Otherwise, we can just move to table them. But that's staff recommendation.
We ready to do something?
Can't we discuss it without motion? If we're- Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we table ordinance 825 as read. 826, I need new glasses, as read.
Second.
Okay, now, any discussion? Okay. We got that poll for, okay, I didn't think so, just making sure. Okay, item B, ordinance number 827, an ordinance of the City of Everman, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances by amending Appendix A titled Fee Schedule by adding a new section entitled Municipal Animal Services Fees, providing a repealing clause, providing for a severability clause, providing a savings clause, and providing for an effective date. I'll entertain a motion.
To table ordinance number 827 as read.
Motion made second, any discussion? Seeing none. Item C, resolution number 2025-01-05, a resolution of the City of Everman, of the City Council of the City of Everman, Texas, approving an interlocal cooperation agreement with Tarrant County Emergency Services, District Number 1, for fire protection and emergency medical services in identified unincorporated areas to be effective retroactively beginning October 1st, 2024, authorizing the city manager to execute said agreement and providing effective dates. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-01-05 as read.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
Chief, I'm gonna let you.
This is just the annual contract for our county contracted services for ESD, number 1, for EMS and for fire. That's just the annual. There was some kind of a confusion with the mailing of the actual contract that we were supposed to have received somewhere in November, and we didn't. They followed back up on it, and so we realized that the contract had yet to have been presented to council for approval. So that's why we're bringing it to you now. But each year there's a small incremental increase in proceeds that are given to the fire departments based on the ESD board's determination. So there's nothing outside of the normal.
Any other questions? Poll the council.
Place 1. Place 2. Place 3. Place 4.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next item, item D, resolution number 2025-01-06, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Everman, Texas, approving an interlocal cooperation agreement with Tarrant County Emergency Services District Number 1 for emergency dispatch services in identified unincorporated areas to be effective retroactively beginning October 1st, 2024, authorizing the city manager to execute said agreement and providing an effective date. We'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-01-06 as read.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. The same as the fire department agreement, this is the dispatch agreement to provide services to the unincorporated areas of Tarrant County. That is any area that's not located within a municipality. So, yeah, all the county areas.
Any other questions, comments? Poll the council.
Place 1. Place 2. Place 3. Place 4.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next item, item E, actions concerning appointments to various boards, commissions, or committees.
Just waiting for somebody to say something.
Still have 3 vacancies on the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee.
Was that the only board that we're trying to fill positions for?
That is the only board with vacancies. That is correct.
Seniors, and we have 3 positions.
3
Okay.
vacancies. That is correct.
All right, folks. Canvass your neighbors. Let's get some folks on this board and get her rolling. That's all I got to say. Let's do it.
Nobody has any names, recommendations at this point? Okay.
Can council be on the board?
One is on the board.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Are
Well,
you?
hold on. No, she's not. She's not officially yet. After the meeting last week, Councilwoman Sanders advised that she was interested in serving on that board. So if that's the case and the council would like to appoint her, then we need to entertain a motion to appoint. Hold it down for a second, sorry. I don't think I turned it on.
Just from a legal perspective, I'll say there's nothing in the law that prohibits a council member serving, but just bear in mind that the whole purpose of an advisory commission is to advise the council and to bring other input to the council, so we don't want to weigh down our committees
Right.
that serve that purpose with council members.
We need other opinions. Yes, totally agree. So start canvassing your neighbors. Let's get those 3 positions filled. I'll do the same thing. I don't have anybody to recommend right now.
We want to take action on her, or we want to wait?
Does she need to fill out an application? Can we just appoint her? I move we appoint Linda Sanders to the Senior Citizens Advisory Board.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hold the council.
Place 2. Place 3. Place 4.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Bingo.
Motion.
We only have 2 more to go.
Motion carried.
Executive session, we have none. City manager's reports.
Appointment in here. The only thing I have, Mayor, is I just wanted to recognize the employees and thank them for their attendance at the gala. That was a good event. Received a lot of positive feedback. I certainly appreciate your attendance as well there. I think that shows a lot of support, and it certainly helps out the morale within the employment here. So they love being able to see you guys come in and support them. So thank you for being there and showing that support. It was a great event, a lot of good feedback. Look forward to doing it next year. So, thank you.
Okay, next time's mayor's report, and I'm just going to elaborate on that. It was an incredible event. Work that you did with the video and just the way it was set up and everything, which is outstanding. The decorations and stuff that were set up by city employees and everything. Only thing is, they didn't party quite as hard as we did last year after everything was said and done. But Commissioner Brooks was here and Commissioner Miles, and Commissioner Brooks got a little bit emotional, so he actually was at a loss for words. So we made his day. He loved it, and got a lot of compliments from him and Roderick about the event. So it was an honor to be able to honor them. So, and then I wish we should have read the proclamation during this meeting, but we did do a proclamation for him. But that's all I have. So with that being said, time is 6:35 and we are adjourned.